Sega! Hello everybody, my name is Sniping is Fun, and I welcome you all back to the 99th character in this long-running series. We are almost to 100. The next video is character 100, but before then, I have to do this video on character number 99. As I mentioned in the last video with Flamberge, Francisca, and Zahn Partizan from Kirby Star Allies from the Kirby franchise, the jump back into third-party characters, talking about the next 3 third-party characters, is going to be on the Valkyria Chronicles franchise. And for those of you who've known, it's a Sega franchise that's been around since about 2008 on the PlayStation 3. It's had about 4 or 5 games now, and 2 of them are now on Nintendo. And I've talked about numerous Sega franchises over the last 10 videos, being Streets of Rage, Sakura Wars, Yakuza. And I think I'm missing one, but yeah, in that range. I have to talk about Valkyria Chronicles. It's one of their biggest, most recent franchises lately, and it does have a Nintendo presence. And before this even gets out of hand, 3 separate categories. Why does character make sense? Moveset ideas, in percentage chance I can see him get in, and after that, just mentioning that I'm doing a, if you haven't watched the last video and you see the name of the video and see the thumbnail when it's changed, I didn't actually introduce the character yet in this video. It's Welkin Gunther, the original main character of Valkyria Chronicles. So why, first and foremost, why does Valkyria Chronicles deserve a spot in the next Sega character over the likes of Sakura Wars and Phantasy Star and Streets of Rage and Yakuza? Why would it be Valkyria Chronicles that joins Sonic, not one of those 4 or any other ones like Golden Axe and Crazy Taxi or something, whoever you want to pick? So why would it be Valkyria Chronicles? Valkyria Chronicles has basically become, like I said, it's become one of Sega's most popular franchises. It's only been around about 10 years now. It has about 4 games, I think 5 actually, because there's Valkyria Profile, I believe, though, too. There's a spin-off one, so yeah, Valkyria Chronicles 4 is not the 4th game. It's just the 4th numbered main entry. It's been around for a while, and it's become a beloved franchise for them. It's not the same as it's not the exact popularity-wise as a Sonic or a Yakuza, and it's not as iconic as a Sakura Wars or a Streets of Rage. It's in that middle ground, even though it's in the same camp as Yakuza, but Yakuza's become its own main entity, and Yakuza's almost a cultural phenomenon in the franchise for them. So the popularity outweighs them on that. But it's about as old as Yakuza. It's only a couple years younger than Yakuza. But it's in that time, in that 10 years, it's become one of their more popular franchises. It is a beloved franchise from them, and it's an iconic franchise from them too. Despite how young it still really is, and that's really it. It has the sales, it has the popularity, it's getting to become iconic, and it's becoming a series from them. It's not like this one-off game thing or a series that gets only a game every 10, 20 years or this really minuscule thing. It's a series from them, and I do think that alone is enough for it to pretty much at least stand a chance for Smash Bros., given that it's kind of becoming one of Sega's biggest franchises. And it has a Nintendo presence on it. The first game, the game he's from, was ported to the Switch. I think it's a download eShop game. Valkyria Chronicles 4 just recently came out a couple weeks ago. The newest main entry of that series. Sega was like, okay, we're putting on PS4 and Xbox One in the Switch. So it's a multi-platform game that Sega said is going to come to the Switch. The Switch, it's one of these big third-party games coming to the Switch. A multi-platform on the same day as release for the Switch, which is starting to show that Nintendo's getting these third parties. And in return, Nintendo should be kind of, okay, you're celebrating us and you're helping us out. How about we help you out by doing Smash Brothers representation? It's marketing, it's advertising. The series is now starting on Nintendo. I would not be surprised if, since Valkyria Chronicles 1 came to the Switch, Valkyria Chronicles 4 is on the Switch, that they might port 2 and 3 to the Switch, and whenever Valkyria Chronicles 5 and 6 come out, it's either going to be on the Switch, or depending on when they come out, the Switch's successor, Nintendo's next 10th gen system and whatnot. It's going to be a series that's going to be a third-party game. It's going to grow on Nintendo. There's numerous franchises that came out of nowhere and started growing on Nintendo. Like the likes of Disgaea came out, and all these other third parties that bring their games later on down the line. Monster Hunter, Resident Evil, Disgaea. All these other franchises, third parties decide just to support Nintendo later on, and they become huge hits. This is starting to become pretty big hits because I've heard of people saying they wanted to buy the Switch version. A lot of people bought the Switch version. I bought the Switch version. So yeah, because I want to support these third-party games on Nintendo, and I think at that point it should be a collaboration between the third parties and Nintendo, and like not only they getting the games on it, but they give it back by advertising and putting some of these characters into Smash Brothers. And then, given that Valkyria Chronicles is getting up there with Sonic, getting up there with Yakuza, and pretty much Crazy Taxi and Phantasy Star and Streets of Rage and Monkey Ball and Billy Hatcher and the the egg thing and all these other franchises. It's getting there and it's becoming more popular, and I think it's deserving of a Smash Bros. Spot. Maybe not as much as Yakuza or Soccer Wars or Streets of Rage, but certainly more than some of these other franchises. Pretty much on the same level as a Phantasy Star, I would definitely put Valkyria Chronicles in terms of Smash Bros. And then why Welkin Gunther? First and foremost, he's the original lead character, and it seems like Sakurai always seems to mostly go for like these characters that are the original lead characters in these series he's throwing. If it's a series that has multiple main characters, 9 times out of 10, it's either A, the newest character because it's advertising, or B, it's the oldest character because of iconic status for the series. Welkin Gunther is that character. He was from the original game, and also he's made cameos in pretty much every other game since. He's a DLC character. He's side mission characters in 2, 3, and 4. He's throughout the entire series. So if you want to represent someone that kind of represents the entire series, Welkin Gunther is pretty much your choice. And he's one of the original main characters. The other main female character is Alicia. And I was thinking about doing like what I did with Billy and Jimmy Lee or May and Bowie from Fire Emblem Echoes, making her like an alternate costume to him. You can consider that, but this video is not going to be talking about that. But if you want to consider Alicia from the first Valkyria Chronicles as an alternate costume, Elf Olimar, Koopalings, Bowser Jr. type of thing, consider it. But I'm not going to mention any more in this video. And the fighting style would be unique, given that he is a tank commander. He's a squad leader. He's like Andy from Advance Wars. He's like the COs, the commanding officers from Advance Wars. He's a strategizing character. He gets in on the fight himself, but he's like a commanding officer that commands his units. That could be unique and different for Smash Brothers and a very different moveset. So yeah, that's the reasons why. Moveset ideas. Smash attacks. I basically, for his moveset, given that I've never played the original, so I don't really know exactly how he exactly fights, I kind of based his moveset off so it represents the series more so than him. He's just the focal point. He's the face you see because he's the main character. But I wanted him to represent the entire game, the entire series. So I made him an amalgamation of all the different class types in the game. And there's 5 classes in the original game. There's a Scout, Shock Trooper, Lancer, Engineer, and Sniper. I mostly based him off the Scout because that's the basic gun class. But I threw a little bit of Lancer stuff in there, a little bit of Sniper stuff in there. And even though I don't mention it in this video, throw in a little bit of like the Shock Troopers and Engineer stuff in them too. I just didn't do the entire research to throw all that in there, but I mostly cultivated the moveset around Scout, Lancer, and Sniper. But he's like a tank commander, squad leader that has those 3 mixed in. There you go, there's the moveset. His smash attacks, there's no one in the game specifically that has many physical attacks besides the Lancer. And the Lancers are like anti-tank heavy units. If you ever play a game where there's like heavy, there's like this they take the damage kind of thing. That's basically what these characters are. And they have these giant lances that can attack tanks. That's his smash attack. Meaning he can pull out this giant lance and be like, "Ah! Ah! Ah!" kind of thing. And he also can punch and kick. That's minor for him. Because I wanted him to be, because these guys are officers in what essentially is in their world, a World War II. So I'm assuming if you're not in a gunfight, you kind of have to be able to physically defend yourself. So some of these units should know how to actually get into fist combats. It's not like no snake situation with CQC, but they should know basic punches and kicks. So he's going to have basic punches and kicks, but most of his smash attacks are the anti-tank Lancers, the lance attacks. He just takes it out. These, and he's not the fastest character, but he's not going to be a super slow character either. Like it's going to balance out. He's going to be a decent speed, but the lance won't be. It'll be heavy damaging, but not as much as a standard Lancer would be, because I don't want that to be a heavy focus on him doing heavy damaging combos and stuff like that. But he does the lance as a smash attack. The special attack is where the specials are where I kind of throw in the other weapons. The basic shooting rifle in the game is the Galleon S1R gun. So it's basically like a standard like musket type of gun situation. It's like this takes place in like the 40s, the 30s, and the 40s. So like old weaponry kind of thing. So he takes the gun out. His main special attack would be shooting his gun at opponents. So you get bam, boom, bam, gun attacks. There's also hand grenades, so he's able to throw grenades and they explode. And I want him to also have a sniper rifle in there because I want to kind of represent, like, the handgun only goes so far. Like, the rifle only goes so far, but the sniper is more precise but longer distance. Like, you can't, like, you could run around shooting. I'm going to say this. You're going to be able to run around and shoot with the rifle, but with the sniper rifle, if you pull it out, you can't move. You're stuck there and you have to shoot. So you're left immediately defenseless with the sniper rifle, but you could run around with the rifle itself and shoot with that. I think that would kind of balance it out, so not everyone uses the sniper rifle, but not everyone also uses the rifle. You have to balance it out. If you're from a far distance and you can defend yourself and be away from opponents, the sniper rifle might be your best choice. But when you're if you're in the action, you might want to use the rifle and the hand grenades and stuff like that. So that right there alone kind of represents the Lancer, the Sniper, and the Scout. So now we get on to the final smash. And this is where I kind of want to bring in two important qualities about this character. The fact that he is a tank commander and the fact that he is a squad leader, and the fact that that relates to this tank. There's a tank in the game that he basically inherited from his father, who's like this great war hero, and it's called the Edelweiss. I'm hoping I pronounced that correctly. It sounds very German, and I cannot pronounce it, but it's Edelweiss. It's a tank. So he pulls out the tank. He gets the smash ball. He's like, yeah! And then he jumps into his tank. His tank comes in. He takes his tank, and he's not only at this point a tank commander. He's the squad leader. He summons all the different units from the game. He's like, squad, attack! And like you see this cutscene kind of thing happen. He gets in the tank, and then maybe he attacks the opponent's a cutscene. He attacks him with like the lance, and then he jumps into his thing, and he's in the background in the tank, and all these shock troopers, all these snipers, these lancers, these engineers, these scouts just run forward, and any opponent you get caught in your attack will get gang attacked by an army, and then from the distance he's like, fire! And this giant cannon from the tank, and the opponents are like, whoa, well off the stage. There you go. There you go. It also represents different characters. So you have little cameos of like Alicia, other cameos of like other different main characters in the game, because usually these games do have multiple main characters, multiple characters in the army, like a Fire Emblem or a Disgaea or a Final Fantasy Tactics or whatever the heck else, these tactical type games, Sakura Wars and whatnot, that you grow to love and want to not see die. So represent them too. I like the idea of representing multiple characters besides just the one that's playable. So you represent more of the series. That's just my opinion. I've done that with Tales. I've done that with Fire Emblem. I've done that with numerous game series I've done in this list. So yeah, there you go. Now let's get on the percentage chance I can see him actually getting in. It's definitely not big, but it's possible given that the series is just starting to grow now. And I think maybe not Smash Ultimate, but maybe in the future, it'll probably be better in a future Smash Bros. Game like Smash 6, 7, 8, when we inevitably see these older games ported to it, and then Valkyria Chronicles 5, 6, 7, 8 coming to like the Nintendo Switch and next Nintendo system and stuff like that, because this does seem like a series that's going to grow on Nintendo now. So like maybe then their percentages will be higher, but as of now, with just Valkyria Chronicles 1 and 4, I'm giving him a 15% chance. Not super big, but really small percent chance. Definitely not the percentage I gave to like Cosmo Kiryu or Axel Stone or Sakura Shijijuji. I can never pronounce her name, I just totally forgot. Sakura Wars, Yakuza, and Streets of Rage. Like those are like the three franchises I feel like if Sega got another character, it's going to be one of those. Or they're just going to double down on Sonic and kind of be stupid, because in my opinion, I think they should just represent a different franchise. But what am I supposed to know? Sakura apparently knows. Ah! Like I would say those three would be the next ones if it's not another Sonic character. But Valkyria Chronicles stands a chance. It's just a very, very small one, but I see it growing in percentage for a future Smash Bros. Game, given I'm sure the series itself is going to grow on Nintendo. So that's it for Welkin Gunther of the original Valkyria Chronicles. And now, before I get on to the end of this video, put in the comments what you guys think. Do you guys want to see? Have any of you even played a Valkyria Chronicles game? Do you like the series? Do you want to see it represented in Smash Bros? Do you want to see it more on Nintendo? Because in my opinion, it's growing now. Once they threw Monster on there, that got a billion in ton games on Nintendo. This is going to be another situation, although from a different company. But I think Valkyria Chronicles is going to grow on Nintendo, like a Disgaea or a Monster Hunter out of nowhere, and then they just grow and get multiple games. So I think it have. My opinion, maybe not Smash Ultimate, but a future Smash Bros. Game, someone from the series should be representing Smash Bros. Is Welkin Gunther a good choice? Is my moveset idea a good choice? What moveset would you give him? What reasons would you give him? Do you just say no to the character in general? 15% too high, too low? Discuss it in there. Have fun. My name is Sniper's Fun. Peace. Please subscribe if you want to have a lovely day, and stay tuned for the next video when we finally get to character 100, when I talk about what is essentially one of the most iconic first-person shooter franchises in general. The game series has a couple entries on Nintendo. It's been around since the early 80s, and, you know, the recent game from it did come on the Switch sometime this year, and that's going to be BJ Blazkowicz from the Wolfenstein series for character 100. See you all later.